Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to I almost said episodes, parts 2 and 3 of Mauler's critique of Resident Evil 7. So right off the bat, unfortunately, for now at least, we have to say goodbye to something very dear. Everett Taves book reports. So Everett did inform me in the first Resident Evil 7 critique comments that he has not played this game or seen anyone play this game. So he's not familiar with things, so he's not going to be giving big book report length comments regarding this. The only comments he'll leave are just the typical comments on just what he thought in comparison to like what he thought of what both me and Mauler thought, basically. Um, it kind of sucks because I kind of looked forward to those in a fun way. I've said it before, but I've always thought it's good to hear what other people think, even if you don't always agree. It's good to hear what other people think. It's good to hear dissenting opinions, um, because it allows you to expand your horizons and see other people's views and understand how other people, well, view the same things that you do. It allows for a lot more of an open mind. So unfortunately, though, we won't be getting that with this series. um, but yeah, so the first part, it seemed like he appreciates the game. It seems like he likes it to a certain degree, but he does have some notable gripes with it, and I can understand that. As I stated in the first part, um, redirect and all, I do like this game. I think it's another great horror game, but I acknowledge it does have a few issues. Like I mentioned in the first part, the ending parts to the game are just it takes it into such a kind of a silly direction that I really am not a fan of. Um, but just overall, I think the game is a lot of fun. It's really it's got a good scary factor to it. I like the characters. I like the story. It's not perfect, but it's good, and it's still one of my favorite horror games. So yeah. I'm interested to see what more, well, see and hear what more Mauler has to say about it, though. Um, because there, just like with Outlast, there's going to be some stuff I agree on, some stuff I disagree on. It's just going to happen. But it's interesting with this one though, because with Outlast, he was definitely much more in the camp of not liking it, while of course I'm in the complete opposite side of things. With this one, he basically acknowledges he likes it. It's just he has issues to bring up, and he's going to critique this in a non-biased fashion. Um, but it's clear that he noted he does like it. um, so yeah, yeah. I do hope that there's a lot more we do agree on, at least. Because I do always hope that. But I also do want to hear some of his disagreements, and I want to see what we can compare and contrast, you know? But yeah, so not much else to talk about going into this. We'll just see exactly where he goes with this and hope to enjoy. So, that being said, yeah, let's just get this going. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the parts of this video series. And as for why we're doing two parts today, by the way, they're, I guess, a little shorter, and I just feel like I have the time and want to get to two parts. Pretty much as simple as that. But yeah, so I hope you enjoy, and in the meantime, I'll see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we will begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so there's not too much to talk about here. As I say in the reaction, there's not a lot I can say about the gameplay stuff because I didn't play it myself. So I don't have a lot of, experience on how I feel it does play. I watched different people's Let's Plays on it because honestly, for me, most of the entertainment from a video game comes from the story and characters and all of that, anyways. I can get that without actually playing it myself. Don't get me wrong, I love playing games, and I like to play as many games as I can. Certain games I actually love that I got to play, like Hat in Time. Um, but at the same time, it's like if I watch a game like Detroit Become Human, let's say that, um, it really doesn't matter to me if I would have played it at all. Yes, my choices would have been my own, um, and it would have been like experiencing it, making those choices and everything on my own time and everything. That would have been cool, but the gameplay itself, like it's not that exciting. So it's like uh there's not too much to worry about with that. If I just watch it, it's fine. But like a game like this, it's a little different because with an FPS or survival horror game or whatever, a lot of the time you are going to be actively shooting and fighting and whatnot, taking a lot more of an active role. So I acknowledge that a game like this might be better played for a lot of people. But then you have to take me into account with the fact that I'm not good with horror games in terms of playing them personally. Because I tend to get really on edge really easily. And you might think, oh, that's a good thing, right? Because it's like a horror game. You should be on edge. You should be scared. But the thing is, when you also have anxiety, being on edge constantly for a period of time while playing can actually be extremely uncomfortable and dangerous. In the past it's led to me having anxiety attacks and like really having some really bad moments. Let's just put it that way. Um, Even something as simple as like a non-horror game has affected me before. With something as simple as just something that connected to me. Like a lot of you know about this, but for those of you who might not, I did a stream at one point. Um, I don't remember if it was last year or the year. I think it was last year. Something like that. Um, but I was playing Doki Doki Literature Club, and at this point, it's not a spoiler anymore. The part where Sayori commits suicide affected me so much, I actually had to stop the stream. At first, I got off of camera. I left the stream because I actually had to go and puke because it legitimately upset me that much. But like after that and everything, I had to stop the stream because I was just a complete mess. I just couldn't handle it. And the thing is that kind of thing happens a lot with horror games for me. It's one of the main reasons outside of just not enjoying it that I had to stop playing Amnesia for different streams and stuff. I could not handle it. I was too much on edge to the point where I was not only scared of the game, but scared that something was going to happen to me. Like, I was afraid that I was going to have like a legitimate heart attack or something. I was that on edge from it. And it's just like, with anxiety, it's not good. But like watching someone else play it is a completely different experience. So I'm a lot better with I like these horror games. I just can't play them personally, you know? So the gameplay stuff isn't has never been like a massive deal to me anyway, but it's like I can't really say too much on it. Um, with the characters in this, I agreed with most of what he said, so there's not really a lot to say on that. Zoe was definitely super underdeveloped. But my big difference with what he said here was with Mia. He really doesn't like Mia. I did. And the thing is, I think it's because I would probably, outside of like, obviously, the infection part with her fighting off the infection and kind of switching back and forth between it. Um, in terms of Mia, her personality and everything, and the way she handled things, the how she went from like, as he kind of said, like went from being scared in this way to being kind of distant to being mysterious to being depressed and everything. It's like I would be that way, very much so in that kind of situation. Like that kind of thing felt very natural and realistic to me personally because again in that kind of situation I would probably be like that. I would probably be going through those kind of things. It's just complex emotional turmoil. Some people are like that, some people aren't. Some people are more consistent with their emotions in situations like that, high pressure, high risk, high just stress situations. Some people are more consistent, some aren't. Some kind of are all over the place. And in the end, I just found Mia a likable character, and I sympathized with her the entire time. Um, my goal from the beginning was to save her. Like not just yeah, that's your goal in the game, but no, my goal as like a viewer. I mean, obviously I didn't play it myself, but as a viewer, like my goal was okay, we need to save her. That's what I want to see. That is the end game of this game. It's not to escape the house, it's to save Mia and escape with her. Even after she cut off the hand, even after everything, that was still always the goal to me. And with the last portion of the game with the ship and finding out that she had been hiding, like she had been working for this company and transporting the bioweapon and stuff, like the fact that she had been hiding all that didn't change that for me. And it's like, I agree with him though that there shouldn't have been the choice to give the cure to either Zoe or her. I think that was a stupid decision to add in, honestly. And it made no sense. It should have been Mia the entire time. The entire point of Ethan's story in this game, again, is to save Mia. It, it, it's literally your main goal the entire time. To save Mia and get the fuck out of there. So why do you suddenly have the choice to save Zoe? Yeah, Zoe's been super helpful to you. It's, as Mauler put it, it's because of her. I really do apologize for this, son. It's because of her that you've made it this far. But at the same time, you have no connection to her. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to want to save her. Of course not. But if you have one of those things, if you have one cure and you can save either her or Zoe, I do not see how you can justify saving Zoe. It makes no sense to me. Even with how Mauler put it, and I'm trying to black out the sun, I'm sorry. Even with how Mauler put it, like, oh, like she was more useful and everything, and again, with his dislike of Mia, um, it's just, it still just does not compute to me. Again, in my eyes, the only real option here is to save Mia. That is your entire goal in the game. And yeah, I agree that having the choice is stupid, and I agree that if you choose Zoe, both of them ending up dying is fucking stupid. But again, at the same time, I don't think there should have been a choice in the first place. At the same time, I think that it should have just been automatic that he gives it to Mia. But hey, whatever. I agree with Maurer as well, though, going back to some of the stuff we do agree on the Bakers. The Bakers are fantastic, and I do wish that there were more of them in the game. Um, they're just really well fleshed out characters. The atmosphere, I definitely agree with him on how it was fantastic at first, but eventually it just kind of disappeared. Well, not even disappeared, it slowly kind of started getting less and less after a certain point. Um, but yeah, it's like just overall, I mostly agreed with him in this one, in these two parts. Um, Either way, though, this sun is really bothering me. I hate this. Either way, tell me in the comments below what you thought of these two parts of a critique on Resident Evil 7, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. If you want to check out any of my social media links and more, please check them out over to the side. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, please leave those down below. In the meantime, though, thank you so much once again for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.